Well, for decades, the National Latino Education Institute, you may know it as NLEI, has offered work training programs to Chicago's Latino community. In the last few years, their focus has been on energy and construction, two industries that have a lot of room for growth post-pandemic and even right now. Joining us to explain is Elba Aranda Suh. She's the executive director of the NLEI, and also she's joined right there by Arthur Saez Miller, who is a board member of NLEI. Welcome to the two of you.
Thank you for having us, Lourdes. We're happy to be here today.
Yeah, always so great to talk to you because NLEI has been around for decades. A lot of people are familiar with it. And for those who may not know, I want you to explain the kind of work that you do in our communities, what it means to many of our neighborhoods.
Sure. The NLEI started over 45 years ago, really focusing on job training as a means to alleviating poverty and social ills. And we've seen so much success in being able to work with companies and work with the market and ensure that we are not allowing our community to be left behind in these very good jobs. And we do our homework and we make sure that the type of training that we provide will prepare community members, heads of household, heads of the family for new careers, new jobs, good paying jobs, sustainable ones, and ones that have career pathways. And one of those industries, as you mentioned, is construction and energy. 7%, there's a projected growth of approximately 7% and more just in construction alone, not even including all of the second and third degree parts of that industry, but only 3% of the population actually access that industry, and even less of the Latino community. And there is so much opportunity just in that industry alone that I think that we don't realize it. And so with me is one of our board members, as well as a major employer who has hired graduates of this program and many others of the organization.
Okay. Let me turn to Arthur right now, because I'm sure he would have some incredible insight into the job market right now. Arthur, everything that I hear and that we report in the news right now is that employers are having a difficult time finding employees. What are you noticing when it comes to finding the right employee with the right training?
You're correct. It's difficult right now across the country. We're based out of Chicago, but we're throughout the Midwest and East Coast, and we're having some issues. And I think it's unfortunate because we're a Latino veteran-owned business. I grew up right down the street from NLEI, so very proud of that. And I think that it's if we could educate some of these young women and men about these good jobs that are out there, and Construct does a great job getting them ready for the trades. I mean, a typical person that graduates from the apprenticeship is making $100,000 a year. And we've had great success with this program. We have employees that came from Construct. We were a founding member 10 years ago, I believe, Elba. I think that's when we started it. And we have women and men that now are journeymen in the field that are making a very good wage, being able to take care of their families. And we've actually had one of the ladies that started with us originally. She runs our diversity program for MZI right now. So it's a great program, and I think that these kind of programs are a great resource for anyone in the construction space.
Yeah, and Elba, to bring you back into the conversation, talk about what it's like to attract people to these training programs. You know, if employers are having a hard time finding employees, are you having a difficult time getting people to train for the jobs?
Well, we're very fortunate to have the partners and supporters that are making this program possible. We launched it in 2013, but again, when you hear about construction, you're thinking just maybe one type of job, and it really prepares you for a variety of jobs on the field as well as in the office. And it has launched so many different careers. I've seen individuals now who are working in other parts of the state, managing multiple departments, who've gone on and continued their education. But you do have to have a desire to be interested in in the construction, energy, utilities, and even electrification. So one of the new components of the program where it's kind of like Construct 2.0. We're going back to campus, first of all. So we're going back to in-person so that that is now we're coming out of the pandemic. The last one was virtual. Now we're coming back to in-person. So we're excited, we're excited about that. And we're prepared for that to provide a safe environment. Math is a strong foundation. Math and safety. Safety is very important. The participants receive a variety of training in OSHA and safety, as well as a strong foundation in math. Yeah. But it really launches so many different.
Oh, I've seen it. You've had them here on Adelante before, and it's really amazing to see the growth that many of those families experience because of the training that they get at NLEI. Okay, before we go, what I want you to do is tell folks if there's a deadline, if there's a website that they need to visit, what's their timeline here?
Thank you for asking. The class closes December 31st. So right now, individuals need to come in for a basic math test, basic aptitude test, and to ensure that that you're ready. One of the beautiful things about this program is that it provides a variety of support system. So we ensure that all of the different obstacles are taken care of ahead of time for this 110% commitment to the program. So we're taking applications now, interviewing for the program now. Okay. Individuals can actually call 773-683-6805.
I see it. Okay. And
or
go to the website, nlei.org, National Latino Education Institute. I'm going to thank the both of you. We appreciate your time, and we wish you the best of luck. Thanks for being on today.